If you are over 60 and often wake up 2, 3, or more times each night just to use the bathroom, it may not be a weak bladder, but rather a matter of your drinking schedule being off. Many people think that stopping water intake after 6 p.m. is the way to reduce nighttime urination. But in reality, when the body is slightly dehydrated at bedtime, the kidneys immediately speed up fluid filtration, causing the bladder to fill faster and forcing you to wake up during the night. This is why you feel tired and less alert the next morning, even if you tried to get enough rest. Think of your body like a 24-hour clock. During the day, your kidneys and bladder work in rhythm, filtering water and balancing electrolytes. But at night, they need to rest so you can enjoy deep sleep. When you drink water at the wrong time, you unintentionally disrupt this rhythm, forcing your kidneys to work throughout the night. At the same time, after age 55-60, the body produces less vasopressin, the hormone that retains water at night. When this hormone is lacking, the kidneys keep producing urine, the bladder fills faster, and you wake up earlier than expected. The good news is that you can reset your body's biological rhythm by adjusting your water drinking schedule. Urologists in the United States have developed simple yet effective techniques that help the bladder and kidneys cooperate, reduce the number of times you wake up, and restore deep sleep. In this video, you will learn 6 methods recommended by doctors, including a technique studied at Harvard designed to extend deep sleep for people over 60. Before we begin, I want to ask you, which state are you watching this video from? Leave a comment and we will read and respond. Ready? Let's explore the secrets to help you enjoy a full night's sleep. So why does water become more important after 60? When you are younger, your body can handle water almost any time you drink it. You could have a large glass before bed and still sleep straight through until morning. But after age 60, things begin to change. Not in a dangerous way, but in a natural, subtle, and easily misunderstood manner. And these changes are exactly why many people over 60 in the United States struggle with nighttime urination, fatigue, and insomnia. First, your body begins producing less vasopressin. This is a very important hormone responsible for telling the kidneys to retain water at night. Vasopressin acts like a gatekeeper, slowing down kidney filtration so you can sleep deeply without being awakened by the urge to urinate. But as vasopressin decreases with age, the kidneys keep working through the night, producing more urine than necessary, and that is why you wake up earlier, even though your bladder is not truly full. Second, your kidneys also become naturally slower. This is not a disease, but simply a mild aging of the filtration system. When you are younger, the kidneys filter fluids and balance electrolytes very quickly. But after age 60, the kidneys need more time to process the same amount of water. This means that water you drink in the afternoon or evening can linger until bedtime, causing your bladder to continue filling while you are trying to sleep. Third, the bladder of older adults becomes much more sensitive. While previously it might have taken 400, 500 millimoles of liquid to trigger the urge to urinate, now only about 150, 200 millimolar, roughly half a cup of water, is enough for the bladder to send an alert signal to the brain. This explains why many people say, "I only drank a little and I still have to get up to use the bathroom." Imagine your bladder like an old alarm bell. Even the slightest touch sets it off. And when the bell rings, even if you know it's not truly full, your brain still has to wake up to check. Just one wake up is enough to disrupt the entire deep sleep cycle. And the next morning, your body feels as if it never rested at all. And finally, there is a psychological factor that many people don't realize. Anxiety about nighttime urination makes the problem worse. Simply worrying, "I'll have to get up," or hearing a vague urge to urinate can trigger the bladder nerves and send the signal to go earlier. This is very common in people over 60, especially those who have been startled awake by the need to use the bathroom many nights in a row. Remember, these changes are not because you did anything wrong. They are simply how the body matures and enters a new stage of life. But the good news is, once you understand what is happening inside, you can adjust your water drinking habits to work with your body instead of unintentionally working against it. In the next part, we will discuss a very important issue that most people over 60 face: major mistakes in how they drink water that make nighttime urination worse, sometimes even twice as bad. After age 60, most of us believe that drinking less water in the evening or avoiding water after 6 p.m. will help reduce nighttime urination. It sounds reasonable, but this is exactly the mistake that causes millions of older adults in the United States to wake up multiple times each night without understanding why. In reality, nighttime urination is not just about how much water you drink, but how you drink it, the timing and the type of liquid you put into your body. One of the most common mistakes is drinking large amounts of water in the afternoon and evening. Many busy people go all day without drinking much, then suddenly remember in the evening and drink 2 or 3 large glasses at once. But the evening is when the kidneys naturally slow down to prepare for sleep. When too much water is consumed at this time, the kidneys are forced to speed up filtration at night, and as a result, the bladder fills faster, making you wake up earlier and more frequently. Another mistake is drinking just to be safe right before bed. Many people think that having a small glass of water before going to sleep will prevent a dry mouth or reduce the chance of waking up thirsty during the night. But in reality, this activates your bladder at the very moment it needs to be calm. It sends an alert signal to the brain even though the bladder's not full. Over time, the habits of going to the bathroom just to be safe and drinking water before bed train the bladder incorrectly, creating a false urge. You think you need to go, but in fact, the bladder is only about 1/3 full. The third mistake is drinking beverages that seem harmless: herbal tea, warm milk, ginger honey water, or a light bowl of soup before bed. Older adults often choose these drinks to relax, but even though they are warm, good for digestion, or help you sleep, they are still liquids. And the body does not distinguish between plain water and flavored liquids. They all enter the bladder and can wake you up at 1 or 3 a.m. Another mistake that many people overlook is eating water-rich fruits in the evening. Watermelon, oranges, grapes, or even a few slices of cucumber, they contain a lot of water. When eaten at night, this water quietly accumulates, and just a few hours later, you have to go to the bathroom. Fruit is very healthy, but the timing of consumption determines whether it will disrupt your sleep. Finally, a mistake that few people consider: drinking water that is too cold in the evening. Cold water stimulates the bladder and makes the nerves inside more sensitive. For people over 60, the digestive system and the body's water filtration are no longer as strong as before. So cold water takes longer to process, and this increases the urge to urinate. These habits, when combined, fragment your sleep into small segments. You may be in bed for 7 or 8 hours, but in reality, you only get 2 or 3 hours of deep sleep. The good news is that by changing just a few small details in how you drink water, even some details you may have never considered, you can notice a difference within just a few days. Besides drinking water at the wrong time, certain evening habits can make nighttime urination worse. Eating dinner too late or consuming dishes with high water content, even light ones, forces the bladder to process extra fluids just as the body is preparing to rest. Soups, broths, or water-rich vegetables can easily make you wake up in the middle of the night, especially when combined with salty foods, which increase thirst and lead to drinking more water before bed. Drinking tea, milk, or herbal tea in the evening is also a common cause. Although they provide a relaxing feeling, they are still liquids that the kidneys must process, which can fill the bladder early. Caffeine or other diuretic beverages in the late afternoon also increase nighttime urine production. Sleeping position and your environment also have a significant impact. Sleeping on your back with a high pillow or thick blanket can put pressure on the bladder, causing the urge to urinate to appear sooner. Wearing clothes that are too warm or having a bedroom that is too hot stimulates the kidneys and increases thirst, leading to more water intake before bed. Sleeping on your left side, using a soft pillow between your knees, and keeping the room cool and well ventilated helps the bladder relax and reduces false signals. Finally, the habit of getting up immediately at the slightest urge, even when the bladder is not full, trains the bladder incorrectly. Instead of reacting right away, take a deep breath, relax your abdominal area, and wait a few minutes before deciding to go to the bathroom. Over time, the bladder will become calmer, nighttime urination will decrease, deep sleep will improve, and your body will feel refreshed the next morning. Additionally, many people over 60 believe that nighttime urination is unavoidable and often attribute it to simple but inaccurate reasons. One common misconception is that drinking less water during the day will reduce nighttime urination. It sounds reasonable, but in reality, when the body's not properly hydrated during the day, the blood becomes thicker and the kidneys have to work harder to filter fluids in the evening, sometimes even causing you to wake up more frequently. On the other hand, drinking water correctly during the first half of the day, following the kidney's biological rhythm, helps the body process fluids efficiently and reduces nighttime bladder pressure. Another misconception is that only men experience nighttime urination because of the prostate. In reality, women experience the same issue. Bladder sensitivity, drinking patterns, dinner timing, and the amount of fluid consumed in the evening all affect how often you urinate at night. Focusing solely on the prostate can cause you to overlook simple lifestyle changes that are actually highly effective. Older adults also have the habit of urinating just to be safe before bed, thinking that if the bladder is empty, they won't wake up during the night. However, this habit trains the bladder incorrectly, sending the urge to urinate signal even when it is not full. Over time, this habit makes nighttime urination worse, even if you drink a normal amount of water. Another common belief is that drinking warm water, tea, or milk before bed is good for digestion or helps you sleep better. It's true that a cup of herbal tea or warm milk can provide a relaxing feeling, but any liquid consumed in the evening is processed by the kidneys and contributes to a full bladder. Drinking too close to bedtime inadvertently increases the risk of waking up during the night. The final misconception is ignoring the body's biological rhythm when drinking water. Many people don't realize that the kidneys and bladder have prime hours for optimal function, and drinking water according to this rhythm is key to reducing nighttime urination. Americans over 60 who consume most of their water in the morning and early afternoon taper off toward the evening, and combine this with techniques like double voiding or the elevation technique, experience deeper sleep, fewer awakenings, and wake up feeling alert and refreshed. Once you recognize the mistakes in your water drinking habits and understand how the kidneys and bladder function after age 60, the next step is to implement the methods recommended by urologists. These are not just theoretical ideas. They are techniques that have been studied, verified, and applied to millions of patients worldwide, helping them achieve deep sleep and significantly reduce nighttime awakenings. Method number 6 in the temperature technique is one of the simple steps that few people consider. Drinking water that is too cold in the evening stimulates the bladder and forces the kidneys to work harder. When you drink cold water, the body expends energy to bring the liquid to body temperature, which in turn triggers faster kidney filtration and creates an early urge to urinate. Research from the European Journal of Applied Physiology shows that when 200 adults switched from cold water to room temperature water after 6 p.m., it took just 2 weeks to reduce the nighttime urination by an average of 1 trip per night. TRPM sensors in the bladder react to cold, sending the urge to urinate signal even when the bladder is not full. The solution is to drink water at room temperature or warm, or in 98-degree Kelvin. Sip slowly and consistently, and if desired, add a slice of lemon or cucumber for flavor. The body takes about 10 days to adjust, but the impact on sleep is noticeable. Method number 5, the mineral balance method, emphasizes the role of sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium in maintaining osmotic balance and controlling the rate at which water reaches the bladder. Water that is too salty or too pure can make the kidneys work harder and increase the frequency of urination. The ideal mineral content for drinking water is 20 to 30 mg/L, Ca 40 80 mg/L, sodium 20 mg/L. Viewers can check their water quality report or use test strips. The timing of drinking mineral water is also important. Avoid the evening and consume it at lunch. A simple tip is to add a pinch of Himalayan salt and a few drops of lemon to a bottle of filtered water to create structured water, helping the kidneys process it gently and reducing nighttime bladder pressure. Method number 4, the front-loading formula, takes advantage of the kidney's biological rhythm. The kidneys work most efficiently from 6 a.m. to early afternoon, filtering water and balancing electrolytes best during this time. Doctors recommend drinking about 75% of your daily water intake before 2 p.m., divided evenly across several occasions. 16 or 20 Ahs upon waking, 16, 20 Ahs mid-morning, and 16 to 20 Ahs immediately after lunch. After 2 p.m., only sip small amounts when thirsty, totaling no more than 8-12 Ahs until bedtime. This method helps the body process water more efficiently and reduces nighttime bladder pressure. Method number 3, the double void technique, addresses the issue of the bladder not being completely emptied after the first urination. Research from the British Journal of Urology International shows that 20–30% of leftover urine is enough to wake you during the night. How to do it? Urinate normally, then remain seated or standing for an additional 30 seconds. Relax your abdominal and hip muscles, and then attempt a second urination. For men, sitting helps the pelvic floor relax more. For women, lean forward slightly, rest your elbows on your knees, and lift your heels lightly. Some doctors also recommend percussion. Gently tap the lower abdomen to help release any remaining urine. This technique can add 2 to 3 extra hours of deep sleep. Method number 2, the elevation technique, explains the connection between fluid buildup in the legs and kidney activity. During the day, especially when sitting or standing for long periods, fluid accumulates in the legs and returns to circulation when you lie down, causing the kidneys to overwork and produce urine in the middle of the night. The solution is to elevate your legs above heart level for 30–45 minutes in the evening, 6 to 8 p.m., using a pillow or wall while rotating your ankles and flexing your toes to pump the fluid out more efficiently. This technique helps shift fluid earlier in the evening instead of at midnight, maintaining continuous sleep. People with swollen legs or tight shoes at the end of the day should use this method in particular. Method number 1, the 2-hour hydration cutoff, is the most powerful technique, validated by a Harvard study involving over 5,000 participants. It's not just about stopping water intake, but also creating a hydration taper, gradually reducing water over the 2 hours before bedtime. How to do it? 2 hours before sleep, slowly drink 4 Ahs of water. During the next hour, take only a few sips if thirsty. In the final hour, avoid drinking entirely. Combined with a humidifier, the double void technique, and avoiding high-water foods and drinks, this method helps the body naturally increase vasopressin production, reduce nighttime urine output by 2 to 3 times, and promote deep, uninterrupted sleep. When combined, these techniques create a synergistic effect. Each method enhances the effectiveness of the others, helping Americans over 60 sleep better, reduce nighttime urination, and improve quality of life. The key is to implement them gradually, starting with one technique, and then slowly adding the others so the body can adapt. To make the water drinking techniques and nighttime habits truly effective, creating a daily implementation plan is extremely important. The plan is not complicated, but it requires consistency and alignment with the natural, biological rhythm of the kidneys and bladder. People over 60 can follow the schedule below to reduce nighttime urination, improve deep sleep, and wake up feeling alert the next morning. Starting in the morning, immediately after waking, drink a glass of water, about 16–20 Ahs, within the first 30 minutes. This helps kickstart your body, stimulates the kidneys to work efficiently, and ensures you are properly hydrated after a long night. During the morning, drink another 16–20 Ahs between breakfast and lunch, combined with a breakfast rich in protein and fiber to support filtration and electrolyte balance. By midday, consume the remaining portion of your daily water intake, about 16–20 Ahs right after lunch. This is the prime time for the kidneys to work efficiently, processing any excess fluids while helping prevent the bladder from becoming overloaded in the evening. After 2 p.m., only take small sips when thirsty, totaling no more than 8 to 12 Ahs, to prepare for nighttime rest. In the evening, from around 6 to 8 p.m., apply the elevation technique. Raise your legs above heart level for about 30–45 minutes, while rotating your ankles and flexing your toes to help fluid accumulated in the legs return to circulation and be processed by the kidneys before sleep. During this time, you can watch TV, read, or relax. Afterward, perform the double void technique right before going to bed to ensure the bladder is completely empty. About 2 hours before bedtime, begin the 2-hour hydration cutoff. Slowly drink 4 Ahs of water over 15 minutes. During the next hour, take only a few sips if truly needed. In the final hour before sleep, avoid drinking any liquids entirely. Combined with a cool sleeping environment, lightweight clothing, and a well-ventilated room, this routine will significantly reduce nighttime awakenings. If you follow this plan consistently every day, within just 1 to 2 weeks, your body will adapt to the new biological rhythm. Your kidneys and bladder will function more efficiently, deep sleep will improve, and you will notice a clear difference. Fewer nighttime bathroom trips, alert mornings, and a body that feels light and full of energy. After implementing all the techniques and habits shared, you will notice a significant change. Your kidneys and bladder work more rhythmically, nighttime awakenings decrease significantly, and your body feels lighter and more alert in the morning. These changes do not happen overnight, but with consistent practice of each step, your body will adapt to its natural biological rhythm and provide the deep, peaceful sleep you haven't experienced in a long time. You don't need to implement everything at once. Start with the easiest technique to follow, such as adjusting your evening water intake or the double void method, and maintain it for 7 to 10 days. Once you notice results, add the remaining techniques to optimize your sleep. Combining this with an ideal sleep environment, a cool room, lightweight clothing, thin blankets, and a relaxing bedtime routine will help your body rest fully. If you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss other practical health tips for people over 60. Share this video with friends, family, or neighbors who are struggling with nighttime urination, because even a small piece of information can improve their sleep and quality of life. Also, leave a comment telling us which technique you will try first, or share your results after a week of practice. We read and respond to every comment, and your story could inspire others. Remember, deep and restful sleep is not a luxury. It is a natural right of the body. By listening to your body, adjusting your water drinking habits, and applying these techniques, you can fully enjoy a complete night's sleep and wake up refreshed, healthy, and full of energy for the new day.